Hello everyone, it is Wellness Wednesday, a little bit later than normal.
Yeah.
I am Lori Hoy.
And I'm Dr. Fawn Schaefer.
And we're coming to you live from Fresh Start Chiropractic. The reason why we're a little late is I had to have my eyes checked at 4 o'clock today. So we're just coming in just a little bit late, and I apologize for not giving you a heads up, but I'm sure we'll get you the information anyway.
Yeah.
So what do we want to talk about today?
Today we're going to talk about something, it's not going to take us long, I don't think, but it's something that I talk to my patients about a lot, and
It's tropical.
it's tropical, and it's really good
Smells
for you.
good.
And it tastes good. Coconut oil.
Yeah, coconut oil.
Coconut oil is so versatile. It has so many benefits. It's not something you just cook with, which, by the way, a lot of people don't even know. You can buy it in the aisle with all the other oils at the grocery store, and it's
Like they have big tubs like this.
it's a big tub, and so when it's cold, it's solid. It's a solid white. And then when it's warmer, so in the summertime, sometimes it'll be liquid, but more often, right now, mine is solid. But it has so many really good benefits. So it is a saturated fat. Now here, I have to
Saturated fat.
I have to just squash this one to begin with.
Hi, Sandy.
Hey, Sandy. Saturated fat has become vilified as the reason for strokes and heart disease and things like that. That is so not the case. What actually happened when they started to think that saturated fat did that, that was a while ago, but then food manufacturers were like, okay, let's not use saturated fat. Let's use trans fats and refined sugars and carbs and
Have we talked about those before?
you've never heard us say sugars
Just a
or
little
carbs,
bit,
have you?
maybe.
And just bad vegetable oils. So those are the things that tend to be the leader of bad cholesterol and heart disease and strokes and things like that. Trans fats, just so you know, are things in like baked goods and fried foods, margarine, that kind of stuff. And you can find it. It's actually on the label of your foods now. It'll actually say percent or grams of trans fat or whatever, and it'll be in your ingredients as partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. That's the bad stuff. So everybody, when I first started talking about coconut oil in my Whole30 classes, one of the very first questions was, well, isn't that a saturated fat, and isn't that bad for you? It is a healthy fat, I promise.
It's a healthy dietary fat. Yes.
So, the other thing about it is it's a medium chain triglyceride. So think about this. Fats are chains of carbon atoms stuck together, and they can be anywhere from like 2 to 20 long. If they are 12 to 18 carbons long, they're considered a long chain triglyceride, and that is our typical fat, that we eat too much of and shouldn't eat in the American diet, and it's bad for us.
Right.
A medium chain triglyceride, or MCT, is, how many is it? I wrote it down, and I'm going to forget right now, and I don't want to tell you wrong. Where did it go?
It's down here at the bottom. MCT.
MCT. It's 6 to 10. Okay, yeah, see, I knew it. I had it in there somewhere. I just didn't want to tell you wrong. So 6 to 10 is a medium chain triglyceride, and that when you eat those, it actually is really easily digested. It gets into your cells a lot easier, including it crosses into your brain, and it feeds your brain.
Yeah, because your brain eats fat.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we don't realize that.
Fuel for your brain.
Right, unless you do the research or read anything about what fuels your brain. Good dietary fats like MCT oil or coconut oil are ones that will automatically feed your brain, which is kind of neat to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so good for you, whether you're eating it or there's a bazillion other uses for it. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is why it's so good for you.
How many is a bazillion? Do we have time for a bazillion?
Yeah,
we won't do a bazillion.
We won't. It's late.
Yeah.
So like we just talked about, one of the biggest benefits is improved brain function. When you eat it, it actually helps. It's been shown to actually help prevent things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and things like that. So I have people try to eat it at least once a day, somehow, some way. Lori has a really neat way that she eats it.
I put it in my coffee, and there's a lot of people who are like, what do you mean you put it in your coffee? Now, there's a coffee out there, there's an actual brand of coffee called Bulletproof Coffee. I don't actually use the Bulletproof beans, but basically what Bulletproof Coffee is, it's also known as butter coffee, is that you add to a 12-ounce cup of coffee a tablespoon of MCT oil or coconut oil. Now, MCT oil is more concentrated,
right,
and so it's very easily digested. So the coconut oil still has to go through the whole process of the body, where MCT oil goes directly right into the cell. It's a cellular food. So you add that to your coffee, plus I add grass-fed butter or ghee to the mix, and then I put it in my little bullet and froth it up, and it's kind of like a treat, but it's like my brain food drink in the morning. So it's also, I know some of you have been following me, and I'm in the beta test group where I'm doing a high-fat, low-carb diet. I hate that word. Nutrition plan. And so that's one of the things that we are permitted to use is coconut oil in that nutrition plan, because it's one of the healthy fats. So I do it by drinking it in my coffee. I used to be a 2 tablespoons of sugar, white sugar from the sugar bowl in my coffee. And when I first went to eliminate that and had to drink black, I didn't die. I didn't love it. I will just be honest there, I didn't love it. And then when somebody introduced me to putting the coconut oil and the grass-fed butter or ghee in it, I loved it. It just took off that little bit of, bitterness. And I know you don't drink coffee,
I don't drink coffee, so I don't know.
And if just real quickly, the Bulletproof brand, the reason why it's when I say Bulletproof coffee, but I don't use the Bulletproof beans, there was I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say it's Mark Sisson, but I could be wrong.
I forget his name.
No, I don't think it's Mark Sisson.
He's
Primal. He's the Primal Kitchen guy. The coffee is one of the most dirty, I would say, foods in the sense of the pesticides that are on coffee beans. So this gentleman makes sure that his coffee beans are free of pesticides. And then, of course, think about how much you drink of coffee. We drink of coffee in America and other countries. And so if you're putting all those pesticides, which we've talked about before, into your body, and that's one real quick, easy way to do it and not think about it. So the Bulletproof brand is basically that. It's the Bulletproof coffee beans, and then he all that together. So it's the MCT oil and the grass-fed butter too. So anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah. Let's see. It's just a list. There's not a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's right. I was that way this morning.
Coconut oil.
I went beep. That's all, folks, because I could not get it out.
It increases your metabolism and your energy. So some people will literally eat like a spoonful of coconut oil just to kind of either suppress their appetite, which it does that too, but also just for an energy boost. I don't suggest eating like the whole jar, but like a spoonful is something that some people do, and it actually helps in the morning if you take vitamins. It helps your vitamins to digest in your stomach. So if you take the spoonful with your vitamins, it's a good way for your fat-soluble vitamins to get into your body a little bit easier too.
Now, I use coconut oil for my coffee. I use it to cook with, and I also use it for my skin.
Oh, absolutely.
I do not use a moisturizer on my body. I use coconut oil. So I get a big tub from Thrive Market, which you've heard me mention before, and I just scoop some out into another container and leave it in my bathroom. And then when I get out of the shower, and yes, it's oily, but it's not like baby oil that doesn't absorb.
Right.
Kind of just lays there. So it does, and it's soft. It smells good. I even give it to my dogs.
Yeah, I give it to my dogs and my cat too.
Yeah. Oh, my cats too. Yeah.
My cat wants it every morning before she wants her special soft food that she gets.
No.
Like she won't eat that until I put the spoon on the floor with the coconut oil on it. And that's how she eats it.
And I mean, they love it. They're like, I call it their num-nums. And Seneca, my puppy, will sit there and just wait for me. Okay, it's my turn. And so I'm done getting all of my body lathered up in coconut oil. So.
Well, one thing I do with it that I talk about a lot that people think I'm crazy for, but it's totally not as weird as it sounds, is I use it in my mouth in the morning as something called oil pulling, if you guys have ever heard of this.
Okay.
I literally take a spoonful, put it in my mouth when I'm in the shower, so my whole shower routine takes about 20 minutes, and I swish it around. So the really awesome thing about that is coconut oil is antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. So it'll help with other stuff we'll talk about in a minute. But when you put it in your mouth in the morning, first thing in the morning, do you know how many gross bacteria are in your mouth?
Before you brush your teeth and everything?
Yes, before you brush your teeth, before you eat. That's the best time to do it, but you can do it whenever. But and this is a whole different subject, but all the bacteria that sit in between your teeth they lead to chronic disease because when you think about all that stuff that leads to the plaque buildup on your teeth, I mean, there's little tiny bacteria in your mouth more than you want to know.
Right.
And regular toothpaste and mouthwash doesn't quite do enough to get rid of all of that. So the coconut oil, when you swish it around, it will pull out all the bacteria and toxins in your mouth. And then, of course, you want to spit it back out.
I was going to say,
you do not swallow it.
Okay, because I've not tried pulling, and I might just have to try it tomorrow and let you know what I think. Because I like coconut oil in my things, but I was never really a huge fan of the taste of coconut growing up, and it's probably because it was the shredded coconut in the bag and fresh coconut I liked. Like I've had that before, and that was actually very tasty. And then coconut milk I like in my coffee too. So I put a little bit too much coconut in some. And be careful if you've ever watched the movie Castaway.
Oh, yeah.
Don't eat too much of coconut oil because it's a natural laxative.
Oh, yeah,
just saying. We won't go there today, but if you're having some issues, that might be something you want to try. That's a natural remedy instead of Maryland, I don't even know any of those products that you get at the grocery store. Hi Heather, how are you?
Just a note on the oil pulling too. If when you put it in your mouth, yes, it tastes coconutty, but I swear now let me back up. Right now it's solid, and I am a pro at this, so I can take a spoonful of solid stuff and put it in my mouth until it is liquid. But if you're not don't try it that way first if you're not good at it.
Right.
You can warm it up first, get a little liquid in your mouth and put it in there. But once you get it liquidy and you start swishing it around, I swear it's like water. You don't even know you've got coconut stuff in your mouth. It just feels like water after like 5 seconds. And then start with 5 minutes. You don't have to do 20. 5 minutes. And if you're going to do this on a regular basis, here's a housekeeping tip. Don't spit it in your sink because it will clog your drains.
Because when it gets a certain temperature,
it'll harden your drains. So spit it in your garbage. Just a tip. So.
Not in your toilet either, because it will. It'll. What's the word? Is the coagulate the right word? I don't know. It just gets
build
back
up.
to solid,
build up.
and then you don't want to do that.
Yeah. So that's my oil pulling. That's my favorite thing to do. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. Well, I even did it when I had a bad tooth, and I did it for a long time until I had my dentist fix my tooth.
Oh, so you put it in there, and then while your whole shower routine, it's in there, and then as soon as you come out of the shower, you spit it in somewhere, not in the sink or in the toilet or in the shower. But okay, I'm gonna try it.
See?
I'm gonna try it. Like a big tablespoonful, or just
like a spoon, like not like maybe half the spoon is probably what I put in. Because you'll tell, like you'll know.
You'll know when you have too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it's solid, it's harder. It's easier. Yeah,
right. Right. And that's okay. All right. I'm gonna try it. Why not? Right? It's not gonna hurt.
No, it's good for you.
It's not like a shot that I don't. Whatever.
But it keeps your mouth cleaner, keps your breath fresher, and it just keeps you healthier because you don't swallow all the
Doesn't keep my dog's mouths fresher. I wish.
Oh yeah. They're dogs.
Okay.
So let's go back to that antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral thing. This is why it's really, really good for wound care and rashes on your skin, because it'll help with things like ringworm and like sunburn and like cuts. Anytime I have a cut, I'll put coconut oil on it and then a Band-Aid, not Neosporin or whatever. And I think that it helps it heal faster too. So it's just a really good...
I've been doing... My hands have been really dry for the winter. And my cuticles have been cracking and bleeding, and so that's one of the things that I've been putting on every single night. Now I should probably wear gloves to bed, but I can't. It's like wearing socks. I can't do it.
Weird.
But I just every single day. That's what I do. I mean, my skin stays pretty supple as far as not looking like a scaly in the winter. I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? When it's really, really cold. So it's just, I love it. I love the smell of it, everything.
None of that bad stuff in it, like we talked about 2 episodes ago. So, but you can do all sorts of other stuff with it. You can make toothpaste out of it with a little bit of baking soda and essential oil, depending on what you want. I have a person in one of my Whole30 groups that made her own toothpaste, so more power to her.
Yeah.
It's also a way to use. You can use deodorants the same way. Different combinations, obviously, but baking soda, coconut oil, and essential oils for the smell. But it's really, really versatile. There's a whole bunch of cleaning in your house too, but I don't have a list of those. I just know I saw them and I was like, "Whoa, I've never."
So that's what we want you to go Google and tell us.
You're going to see like a bazillion and 10 coconut oil uses. So I buy it. Yeah, I buy it in the big jug every time I can.
Yeah.
And
now, do you know? Of course, when we go to the store and we talk about products and what we should buy versus what we shouldn't. So, do you know? And I'm not expecting you to know. I'm putting you on the spot. So just know that. And I just can't remember 100%. I know that it's better to buy organic. However, if you can't buy organic, is there a version of coconut oil that's better than others? Like I know that there's like a cold pressed or the first pressed or whatever. Do you know specifics of that?
Refined and unrefined.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, most of them say organic. You can't really find one that's not organic.
Yeah, there's
really.
not much. Yeah.
So I don't think to me, there's not a huge difference.
Okay.
I can't tell. I do know one tastes more coconutty than another, but I don't remember which one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have the really coconutty one, and I don't remember which brand I have right
now. The brand, I either get Thrive Market's brand or Nativa, I think is the brand, Nutiva, that I get through Thrive Market. So, and I love them. I mean, I buy a really big jug, and it's really reasonably priced because it can be very expensive depending on where you get it. But a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
And we didn't say you could cook with it, but one of the benefits of cooking with it, you can cook at high heat with it. So if you're roasting vegetables, that's a good oil to have because it won't smoke unless you get it really hot, which you shouldn't be cooking them that high anyway.
Yeah, so it is the best oil to cook with when you are cooking higher heats.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, the really nice thing about it is it doesn't go rancid like other oils. Like you could leave it on your counter for an entire year and it doesn't go bad. Like it might get solid and soft and solid and soft, but that's the nice thing about it is it doesn't, when you open like olive oil and it's been there too long and
and you're just not sure.
Yeah.
And that's because not all olive, and this is a whole other live, not all olive oil is olive oil.
Right.
So you have to be careful about that, and we won't bore you with that today. But the only other thing I see on your notes that I think is very interesting is insect repellent. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm so excited about that.
You basically use it just like a lotion too, and that again has some essential oil component as well.
Okay.
A couple drops of that, and then you rub it on, and it's
because in the summer it would be liquid.
Right, exactly.
So you could put it in a spray bottle with an whatever essential oil that would deter.
Yeah. It gave a whole bunch of different ones. So
we're not really giving you any information that you couldn't look up yourself, but we're happy to do the research seriously. But there are some things. I mean, obviously we don't know, and for instance, there's a lot of different uses. You have to, and in anything that you search online. You have to really be aware of where you're getting your information from. If it's just Joe's Coconut Oil Shack, you might want to you might want to keep looking for somebody else like Dr. Axe, which one that we have recommended, Dr. Hyman, Dr. Mercola, online that are doctors that actually research all of these really great products for us and then tell us, you should be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. And they've done it. They've done it on their own.
Right.
So it's not that they're just throwing out advice and not having used the product. So
right.
All right.
So
that's it on coconut oil. I know there was a while ago. We use rose geranium oil with coconut oil for bug repellent.
See?
Rose geranium oil. Thank you, Sandy, for
I
that.
think Sandy would know.
I'll have to try that this summer. I don't usually get bit by bugs though.
Yeah, me either.
I wonder what
Something
that
about
is.
our
Maybe that's
skin
another
pH.
one. Our skin pH.
Yeah. That's why I
That's
don't get
another
sick when I
life.
go hiking.
Did we talk about body pH?
I don't
Your
know.
pH in your body, acidity versus.
We
'cause
should.
I do that every once in a while. I test the acidity in my body,
Mhm.
and I know we've mentioned, but I don't know if we've actually done a live broadcast about it and all that it's about. I don't know.
I like it when we give ourselves ideas because we run out.
And if you guys, seriously, if you have any ideas, and it can be about anything within reason. Okay, I'm going to say reason because there are some things that we're just not going to be interested in researching.
Right,
like,
exactly.
I don't even know.
I don't know. Toe fungus.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That's weird.
Why is that? We don't want to know about toe fungus. We don't want to see any pictures online about toe fungus. Nothing. Sorry to those of you that have toe fungus. Put some coconut oil on it. It might,
There you go. That's our advice. Coconut oil for everything.
Just bathe in it. Just lay in it. It smells great. I mean, it's wonderful. So don't. And I know there was it last fall, I think there was a report came out from the American Heart Association that coconut oil was horrible, and everybody was freaking out, and they were sending me messages. I'm sure they were sending you messages.
Yeah.
And that's been totally debunked.
Yeah.
So
I put a poster up about it in my office for a while because
this is going to sound really weird, and I'm not trying to be braggy or whatever. I eat it every day, people. I'm not getting huge.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day,
Yeah.
like, and more than once a day. So it's in my coffee. I might cook with it for dinner. I don't overdo, but because I like to do different oils. I do coconut oil. I've been using sesame oil too, which is really nice with Bragg's Aminos. Really tasty. Like, it gives that Asian flavor to me. It's good. So anyway, I digress. So hi, Liz. How are you?
Hi, Liz.
So anyway, guys, if you feel that this could be of benefit to anyone that wants to know more about coconut oil, please do us a favor and give it a share. Spread the word or tag a friend in the comments. And if you have any ideas for our next or future broadcasts, please let us know by messaging either one of us on Facebook. We both have personal pages and we both have business pages that you can contact us through. All right.
Absolutely.
I think I got that out.
Have a happy Wednesday,
All right,
guys.
yes, guys, and make good choices.
Yes.
All right, talk to you soon.